over half of the estimated 10 million species of plants, animals, and insects that are known on the Earth reside in rainforests.
You have at least 60 to 70,000 plant species. You have at least 3,000 and perhaps as many as 9,000 species of freshwater fish, and more monkeys than you find anywhere else on Earth.
In Brazil alone, 9 new species of monkeys have been identified over the last year. But many of those species, known and unknown, are destroyed every day. Constant logging, mining and cattle ranching is stripping the jungles clean. And sadly, what was lost can never be replaced.
We've already lost well over 50% of the rainforest that existed at the turn of the last century. And if current trends continue, we stand to lose a very large percentage of the life forms that share the planet with us.
But scientists like Dr. Mittermeier and Conservation International are trying to make a difference.
Well, the most important thing that our organization does is working with local people, with local indigenous communities, to demonstrate that conservation can provide benefits to local people, to local communities.
This in turn helps government officials to become aware of the amazing aspects of the Amazon, including the discovery of some of the most incredible creatures known to man.
You may see a monkey or a beetle or a bird that no one else has ever seen before.
Truly an area of unparalleled diversity under siege. There's no place on Earth like the Amazon.
It's really one of the great phenomena that still exist in the 21st century.
They have a daily temperature between about 20 and 30 degrees and can get an annual rainfall of easily more than 200 centimetres. That's around 80 inches. Now, they don't really have any discernible seasons. In fact, the growing season lasts all year round. It was probably this balmy environment that allowed so many animals and plants to survive the last ice age. So today, it's home to tens of millions of species of wildlife. And as if that wasn't enough, it's now slap bang in the middle of a very hot debate. It looks pretty innocent though, just a few green patches spattered around the world, but it has a fantastically important role in how we live. Its tropical nature, sitting as it does on the equator, means it's a place of extremes. It's extremely hot and extremely humid there, and it's precisely that which makes it so important. Essentially, the forests are acting like a giant air conditioner. Trees suck up huge amounts of water from the ground and then evaporate it from their leaves into the atmosphere. Because we're in the equatorial regions, there's a lot of heat there, so that air all starts to rise, takes the water vapour up through the atmosphere. As it cools, it condenses into clouds. As those clouds get higher, up 8 or 9 miles high into the atmosphere, they turn into ice crystals, and that helps to set the thunderstorm process going. So you get some tremendous thunderstorms, particularly across the Amazonian basin. And of course, that rain then comes back down on the rainforest and keeps the cycle going. But it's only round about half the actual moisture that goes up that falls back as rain on the forest. The rest is carried away in the upper level winds off to somebody else's part of the world to give them some rain clouds. So it's an important part of the global climate system. Actually, the leaves also have another effect in that they're shading the ground from the sun's rays, so they actually help to cool the region by that process as well. Rainforests are carbon sinks. They take up and store tons of carbon from the atmosphere, which is then promptly released when the wood is burnt or rots. Traditionally, the forest grows new trees when the old one dies, so it's always in balance. But this doesn't allow for man, who's currently chopping down all ages of trees at a rate of knots. And at this point, a delicate balance is upset. And this is what's causing the debate. The scientists are pointing out that as the ground is cleared, this changes how the forest works. Without trees to suck up the water from the ground, less water goes into the atmosphere and more stays on the ground, and so the climate becomes drier. So in the rainforest, we've got a machine that's solar powered, never needs any maintenance, hasn't got any working parts, is locking up carbon and helping us out with the climate. So maybe it's not such a good idea to be chopping it down.